Hi, I'm Kate, and in this video, you'll learn how to quickly fix the invalid JSON error in WordPress. Before we do anything, make sure that you have a backup of your site. Some changes we'll go over can have serious consequences, so it's better to have a copy to restore in case of an emergency. We'll cover what causes this error and a few ways to fix it. You can skip to the part you prefer with the timestamps in the description. The error updating failed, the response is not a valid JSON response, usually happens when you're working on your content in the WordPress block editor. It may also occur when you try to add a media file to your website, especially if you submit it to a block in the editor. To understand the error, we need to know that every time you edit a page or post in your website, WordPress connects to the server to respond using the JavaScript language in JSON format. If the JavaScript code has an error, WordPress won't be able to connect to the hosting server, and you'll receive this error message. The error could happen due to various reasons, but it's most likely due to incorrect URL settings or broken permalinks. So the first solution we'll try is checking the URL settings. Open WordPress's general settings. The WordPress address and site address URL fields should have the same prefix. If your site is using an SSL certificate, this prefix should have https. If not, it should have HTTP. You can edit any of the fields, but make sure to have a backup of the site before saving the changes. If everything is well, you can edit a blog post and see if adding new blocks or saving the post triggers this error. Moving on to the second solution, working with the permalink structure. WordPress permalinks are the unique URLs for each of your posts and pages. In WordPress's permalink settings, you can find options for the structure of your website's URLs or create a custom structure of your own. Some users create problematic structures, which can affect the communication with the server and lead to this error. So we recommend reviewing your permalink structure in WordPress's settings. If you decide to make any changes, you should create redirects to ensure you won't lose traffic. You can learn how to use RankMath's redirections tool with the video that's on the card. Once you've fixed the permalink settings, try editing your post to see if the error was fixed. The third option is regenerating the htaccess file. In WordPress, this is used as a configuration file to manage SEO-friendly URLs. WordPress can normally regenerate and update the file on its own, but hitting the Save Changes button at the bottom of the permalink settings can also trigger an update. However, it's possible that the settings will not be updated or might be inaccurate if you only use these methods. You can make sure your htaccess file is clean by deleting it and forcing WordPress to create a new one with an FTP client or file management software in your WordPress hosting account dashboard. The file will be in the root folder. Make a copy of it in your computer to have as a backup and delete it from the server. Now navigate to Settings Permalinks from your WordPress dashboard. Select the option you prefer and click on the Save Changes button to create a new, clean htaccess file for your website. Like we said with the previous errors, try to edit posts or pages to see if the error appears again. If none of those methods work, you can check whether a theme or plugin is causing the problem. To do that without your visitors noticing any changes to the website, use the Health Check and Troubleshoot plugin created by the WordPress community. So let's access the Add New page of the Plugins section, enter Health Check in the search bar on the top right corner, and click on Install and Activate Health Check and Troubleshooting. Now, the Site Health tool will have two new tabs, Troubleshooting and Tools. Open the Troubleshooting tab and click on Enable Troubleshooting Mode. The alterations you make to the website will not appear to your visitors. This will deactivate all of the plugins. WordPress will suggest that you install and activate the default theme that comes with the WordPress installation. You'll be able to choose between the 2020, 2021, and 2022 themes. Then, you have to try to reproduce the issue in these settings. If it's there, your WordPress installation is the root of the problem, and you should contact your web host about it. If you don't see the message when no plugins are active and the theme is the default, you can start by switching themes. If the message doesn't appear with your theme but none of the plugins, you can rule out the theme. The next step is to activate each plugin individually until you find the one that causes the invalid JSON error. If you're willing to give up the block editor functionality, you can change to the classic editor. You'll need to install the plugin created by the WordPress community, which is usually already at the top of the list in the Add New page. Be careful, besides changing how you edit your posts and pages in the future, this may also impact the formatting and layout of the pages and posts that had already been created with the block editor. So before you start using the classic editor, Open the writing settings and select Classic Editor as the default editor for all users, or select Yes to allow users to switch editors. This will allow you to use the Gutenberg or block editors in your current pages and posts, so you won't have to worry about losing work if you want to change any of your existing posts or pages. Save your changes and try editing the post to see if the error is solved. Our next step is checking if WordPress's REST API has encountered an error. Go to Tools, Site Health, and look for a heading like The REST API encountered an unexpected result. If you find this issue, solving it might fix the JSON response error for your website. Moving on. If you use a firewall to secure your WordPress site, it may cause the editor's connection with your server to be disrupted, which would result in the updating failed, the response is not a valid JSON response error. The simplest approach to sort this out is disabling your WordPress Firewall plugin or service for a while. If the editor starts working, the firewall is the cause of the error. In case your firewall is set up at the host level, you can ask your WordPress provider to look into it and whitelist the editor to prevent it from triggering the firewall. If you're using a WordPress security or firewall plugin, you can either replace that plugin or contact the plugin's developer to help you solve the error. If you're still experiencing the error, we recommend adding some code to your wp-config PHP file so you can start keeping an error log. You can copy the snippet from the blog post that corresponds to this video. Access your website via FTP and download the wp-config file. This command might already be there, but with a false value, before the message "That's all, stop editing, happy blogging." If that's the case, replace the false value with true. If it's not there, paste the code at that point. Save the changes and upload it back to the server. Once you've added the code, WordPress will maintain a log of all the errors in a file called debug.log, which will be in the WP content folder. You can also download it through an FTP client to look for possible reasons for this error. The WordPress debug file is not the same as the error log files that you might find in your root folder and WP admin directory. Those error logs are controlled by the server's configuration, not WordPress. If you see the error when uploading media files through the block editor, one solution is to submit images directly to your media library instead. It might be a temporary fix, but it can come in handy if you're in the middle of creating a post or if none of the other methods work. When you add an image block, you'll need to click on the media library option. Also, you may get the error because of the characters in your image file's name. You can only use English letters, numbers, and other symbols like hyphens to rename your image. Once you've renamed all your images appropriately, upload the image to see if the error's been solved. If none of these solutions worked, we recommend contacting your web host so they can look for solutions on their end. If this tutorial helped you, give it a like. If you have any questions, click on the link in the description to open a free support ticket. You can find other tutorials in our knowledge base at rankmath.com/kb.